Time now for Weather Watch with meteorologist Matt Makens.
It's time for another Weather Watch. Hope you're doing well. I'm Matt Makens. Let's talk about the weather pattern that we've seen throughout the course of April. It was really impressive in some cases. Cold and wet across the northern plains. We'll take a look at that. Then we'll chat about what May bring us. And then we'll have where the drought will likely improve, at least some improvements throughout the course of May. Now, April. It was an interesting month. It was well forecast. We had wetter than average conditions in the northern plains, some hit and miss areas of water in the Tennessee Valley, southern Mississippi to the southeast, New England, and also the Pacific Northwest. But what was surprising was the surplus of water that came throughout mostly North Dakota and far northern Minnesota. Came in a couple of series of storm systems, leaving quite a bit of historic snowfall in a lot of cases, stretching from Montana into northern Minnesota. So that was impressive. Now the cold, at times some of the northern plains were upwards of 10, 20 degrees colder than average for a stretch of time. As you look at the country, the colder than average area actually extended all the way down into South Georgia. Warmer locations from the southwest into the south. Texas was one of the warmest spots throughout the course of April. Now what does May bring us? Take a look at May's outlook. First historically, and then we'll talk about model projections. But historically, May will bring us more moisture from eastern Montana into the Dakotas, as well as eastern Texas into Louisiana and Arkansas, as well as the Northeast. This historic perspective also calls for drier than normal conditions from California into Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas. That's not unheard of. Historically, if you compare what we expect this May to those Mays of the past, combine all those past Mays, and this is what you have. Now, how does model projection change this? Very little, actually. In some of my writings, you'll hear me mention the American CFS model. It's a climate model. Well, right now, it's projecting wet areas from Montana into North Dakota, East Texas into Arkansas, and out across the east, and very dry into Colorado, New Mexico, West Texas. Very similar setup in the model projections versus what we have seen historically. So there's pretty decent confidence going into May. What does this mean for us? This means we may see some drought improvements, and I'll show that area to you now. Latest drought monitor as of late April, we may see improvements right in here from Iowa into northern Minnesota, down across the southeast, but where we may see things get worse is Colorado and Arizona. Something to keep tabs on as we go throughout the month ahead. I'm Matt Makens. We'll see you next time for the Weather Watch.